Basso and Enumerate between UEFA champions, European champions, as against Europa League champions. Almost the Bueni and Enumerate Nyasem Ketuakra. It was a game, one would have thought said it should have been a cool job for Bobo Kwayefreno, Tottenham Hotspurs, because they played so well. They control the game from a defensive point of view. That is ensuring PSG will dominate possession, but then they will limit them and try and counter them. And they had 2 good goals from a set play, but then the last 5 minutes of the game, they was taken away from Tottenham Hotspur. Paris Saint-Germain and AG Super Cup. In the history of this competition, only one team penalty to me from Europa League or Champions League team waji Super Cup. It doesn't really happen say Europa League no. Na omo no mutu be Super Cup. Big game. It was a game I can say say expose some aspect of Paris Saint-Germain a game no. And a show what Thomas we can expect from Thomas Frank. They were compact, they were solid, but I think that changes and I can say of course team. He should have allowed the most dangerous players to still be on the field of play. Look, football is played 90 minutes. 1 minute alone, 1 minute can change the dynamics of the game. That's exactly what happened today. After the last 5 minutes, one more ball game, 95 minutes, or doing say 2-0. We some of the key players out. Mohamed Kudus out. Richarlison out. He was basically playing a 3 back with the wing backs. Or already midfield with Papi Matassa and Branch friend of Betancourt and ball Palina. So it was a midfield of hard workers. But then taking your forward players out, gave PSG for the audacity to come forward, and Gonzalo Ramos and a take and a branch and Keenly Jail Korean, it was a very good shot or boy. Called penalty shootout. Vitinha and Eddie can send a penalty, but then Matthias Tell and branch friend Van de Beek, after scoring in the game, or don't send a penalty, also and Matthias Tell and so no, and Matthias and the Paris Saint-Germain to me, Super Cup. Benedict Neves and Bejoin enough. A quick review of the game. Nafi, ya drink a crowd on there. Into Barros Mubashana Omode, Benedict ne Vincent de Oma to Suarez. Benedict, BBI come there.
Yeah, listen. BBI come on.
What to make sure game be?
Yes, make sure game no.
Yeah, general impression about the game. How the team started, both teams started, started from there, nothing.
Okay, into my mission for Paris Saint-Germain side, the name said they were coming into the game with that 4-3-3 at time be mobile. You be who that is Joao Neves and a red card at Untimina chance in but Vitinha, Fabian Luis, any other players. But so the way almost set up more. You who desire day, you who Kwaskelia, you who Bracula, any who Dembele, meaning say na omoko with a name 4. Ne name 4 no Dembele more ebe kan finfin no send you bet me distribute balls ni intina from the first 10 minutes no they were having that play, but I think Adia Thomas Frank here being a coach stop a great team like Paris Saint-Germain. You need to have a strategy. Chelsea, Paris Saint-Germain, you can the same thing. So you need a strategy to be a good team. Paris Saint-Germain, no matter say they need to press their opponents in their halves. To share anytime Paris Saint-Germain, ebe bobo na koma with Spurs no. Spurs and started ball in Fiachi, say Vicario, any Romero, and on Danso, and on Van der Ven best started. Omobo long balls no, making sure say they eliminate rest now Paris Saint-Germain it winning most of possession no. Into almost that long balls into that final third. Now and the likes of Alisson and Mohamed and with the strength, any energy, now yeah, Fred Richarlison, any Mohamed Kudus one, they would be able to pin the Paris Saint Germain setup. I think Luis Enrique, from the first 20 minutes, no, unya on the right, but after that, no, now for the Inyama and Koye, Thomas Frank, you're born abaso. With him here, put up a good team. Send your kind, no, substitutions, no, yeah, and a course, because I was thinking, say Mohamed Kudus, any Richarlison, in case of Jabako for the air balls and also for the strong. Also, so link up place now. No bet me small fouls to delay the time. But the likes of Matthew Tells, the likes of Solanke Be Munye, who some replicate here, they are Richarlison and Mohamed Kudus. So I think every Tottenham fan will hear game will be impressed with the performance. Thomas Frank intimidating the boys, me boy, especially against a tough team like Paris Saint Germain. But the best team won on the night because penalty shootout there, anything can happen, and a Boama Paris Saint Germain 80 win here. But from the first, that's the second half, no, Tottenham came in well. A Boama Mutiminas are crucial 2 goals now later. Omutuni na guye.
Yeah, sure. Let's look at the lineups. Is it an unusual lineup? You who from two coaches because it is clear. So yes, Osha PSG and then Donnarumma na anyhow. Into the new goalkeeper Chevalier and the bedem. So on the demo back four, no, it was the usual back four that we knew. But midfield, it appears that there were some changes. And front three, and so no, it was the usual front three. We've seen it before, but it appears that the midfield, no, there were some changes there from the Paris Saint-Germain point of view. And at Tottenham Hotspur, so you know, Thomas Frank, a coach or more a 4-3-3. But it appears that today he had three center backs in Abrante Fender. So Abrante Fender, Romero and Van de Ven. Then packing midfield and three of how the two coaches set it up. It was obvious, Luis Enrique made sure to because going into a cup final like that and trying to play a two Vitinha without Joao Neves, Fabian Ruiz. Now, then pan and corner, yes, yes, the young chap, he's also good midfielder. But then, if you look at what Fabian Ruiz they brought to me, Joao Neves they brought to me, the defensive aspect of the game, top notch. So if a Basse or Gambo playing a 4-2-4 formation, it appears he didn't respect Tottenham Hotspur for, and for Tottenham Hotspur to allow them to this particular trophy, actually speaks volume of Tottenham Hotspur. And
Yes, because of Tottenham, you name him say Tottenham mentality, more of okay, say so not respecting them. Minji said he wouldn't go into a game trying to say unrespected Tottenham because of going into and trying, but I think he was trying to do something new. Say Osha the way almost set it up now. Omuni that solid bench, sir. Say Joan Neves in your Fabian Luis in your it's likely say who players a baby mombe mouth that same quality as these players. So Mihuni said he was trying to explore, especially for next season, the Champions League in Nyama crucial games so Tottenham take the chances. Osha there are 2 goals now back from a set piece because no one will say height any Paris Saint-Germain side. We Paris Saint-Germain set up Numa, we Pacho, we Fabian Luis or free bench by now she Hakimia. Those are the 3 players at height kakra on side. Omo making nano. They are a bit way short of height. Intina no more try those long balls. Into the goals came from set pieces. And nine keso mutimi twaso with the long balls, making sure say they hold more onto the balls. A Hona name more taking out Mohamed Kudus, taking out Richarlison. Richarlison the meter because of the yellow card. But taking out Mohamed Kudus or something now, I saw it to be a problem because Matthew Stell, Obama pace, no Obama pressing, but at that time, no unhia pace ni pressing, unhia ubia, obe control ball anymore. No, it may win a lot of fouls. A delay game na boa, which I think say Unya no wrong, especially in the last 5 minutes going into the 90 minutes. I ref in the 6 extra minutes or so, and a man lose. And I think
Is
Thomas
it
Frank also find
is
Yama
it
be breaking
about
game.
is it about inexperience one? Because it appears that he
Yes,
realized okay 5 minutes there was no way PSG will come back
beat me.
2 goals. Inexperience in the corner side though.
Yes, I think inexperience play a lot. Now, share the way I go is nearby. We league go. No, it was more of they weren't expecting Paris Saint Germain to shoot from the back because omunim so omu de ombe work ball na ba be do fin. So they allow any player to be shooting because they know say Paris Saint Germain players now outside the box. We Dembele, we Kvaratskhelia, we Desire there. Vitinha in a good striker of the ball. Fabian Luiz, Obone Baku. Now the likes of Zai Emery, they weren't expecting them to shoot from afar. Intuitively ball now, nobody covered up because they weren't expecting him to shoot. And the second goal, no, because of Paris Saint-Germain from the Champions League, they set up mostly leaving the box. Who striker be running in between the channels. Until from minute 1 to minute 85, you any player running in between the channels. Until time of Gonzalo Ramos be it was now left for Tottenham players. This is almost switch says a natural number 9 aba, and you'll be finding himself inside the box. Into Gonzalo Ramos go now. Romero was off, Van der Ven was off. Dansua later, who the threat no energy so close, and it was too late. This are going. On the Tottenham side, no, is yes, inexperience play a very lot in this game. But sometimes you who top coaches they face these issues. You who Thomas Tuchel with Real Madrid and not Olidi or also facing an issue here changes money affect. And I think in games, having your best players on the pitch is important. So we pray fine, but having them gives you that edge over your opponent. Okay, be a even getting a third goal or maybe a 2-1 scoreline and Tottenham beat me winning that trophy.
Okay, right. I think that it is going to be a psychological blow for Tottenham Hotspur. They will still question themselves. Are we really ready to win or challenge for titles? Because we are winning Europa League. We are the European champions. Chelsea are show how to beat them. We've managed to get 2 goals. Chelsea
Yeah.
hold you 80 minutes. Not still 85 minutes. Not still to me winning. I think it is going to be another blow for their psychology. But then, um, will this be a good sign of from Thomas Frank? Say, oh, Babe for Tottenham's best team. No? Are they really going to play wonderful football? Are they going to play good football? And would Abrante and Mohamed Kudus or justify why? If so, because they say on a poster boy for Tottenham Hotspur. Nipa Chrono deserve say also can say something.
So I think that game was a game that some of us didn't even expect. Spurs beat me take it. I mean that 2-0 lead. No? But then when I looked at the lineup, I saw say be something that is going to be very difficult for a PSG for. But looking at how Thomas Frank set up team, and what followed Thomas Frank for the last 6 years at Brentford, about a 4-2-1 formation. But then sometimes when the push teams are the more dominated games, teams are more powerhouses are mostly about a track system. So in this game, I definitely knew that it was play a three back system. But then the shocker was PSG. Then when we all knew that João Neves is suspended, man ball for LZ na kwakwe João Neves. See any Fabian Ruiz. We didn't say who Fabian Ruiz João Neves. I knew that something was difficult for them because Bentancur and Papasa, any other players now they are players that they can give you that energy and that aggressive or meet him during the balls. So I think there was something that was hoping say and commit me, but then Spurs for more pressing very well. We hear how Chelsea press PSG, especially in the FIFA Club Cup final. No, more press up 3 players and also another players that almost pressing both Hakimi and Nunes for Anthony Spence and Poro. So I think that in the first Spurs, they are pressing right. Almost game very difficult for Spurs because PSG almost more press more major ball. Then when they get the ball, they try as much as they keep on the upper wide for almost players to keep the first ball alive. And Thomas Frank, he him say, I did Thomas Frank expertise by any team set pieces at Brentford. Omunya throw in, Omunya free kicks, Omunya corner kicks are and Oba and Waka said training on set pieces, especially or my playing now to long throw. I mean, send them money kind. They didn't expect PSG to be shooting from afar and home. And I don't think it's an experience from because so check it Brentford team now. I dare Brentford at near the entire especially in the Premier League. Say you shall let goals. Not Thomas Frank on him say game. Now referee it is not over yet. So on that side, I don't think it's something that they say PSG are dominating game, no, but they've defended very well. And that 5 minutes, 6 minutes, they could not commit me defend. I think that PSG so I mean go over share that cross. Finding Ramos was a perfect inch crosser, and so I mean the best team won indeed dominate game. But that's Spurs game plan they will go wide, they will play well, and they won't let PSG to get more recoveries into of their goal. So what goes from shaking now? Mohamed's question beside, he was fantastic. I think that I will be doing the most foul complete, most dribbles, most take-ons. So was perfect thing for Mohamed because any foul, or more foul, no result in that free kicker. Or more boy, yeah, or more result. Spurs free kick in answer. Or more boy, they will let the ball go wide. Then or make keep it on next. Then I come in. Then they have a lot of men in there. Or make PSG for so PSG found themselves wanting whenever person set piece, but then with the absence of Jao Neves, Fabian Ruiz in the first half, they were able to dominate the guard. It worked in their favor. I think PSG mush that feeling so much. So yeah, back better take I knew that we were going to win penalties because games like this will be that form now or better take at the die embassy. On nine, that's really take it on.
Congratulations to Paris Saint-Germain for winning the Super Cup. But obviously, there are some work on team. Maybe after playing against Chelsea, teams know how to beat them. It's either you go the Chelsea way or you go the Botafogo way. So in the Champions League, obviously people will match up. I'm going to meet you on boot for boot. Tottenham Hotspur, so they can build on this. I think they are doing a rebuilding, and if you are doing a rebuilding, it's difficult to maybe win a trophy as soon as possible. So we can only wish Thomas Frank all the best, or all the materials to excel in the league and in the cup games. So hopefully, Europa, so they will play in Europe until they have opportunity to defend the Europa League, so be so better a Champions League, like boy remote Champions League. So I think they are far fetched. It will be very difficult for them to win the Champions League. But then the cup game, the FA Cup, the Cup, they will try and do well in those cup games. So na be building on a trophy, a winning streak na nyama so etumi akoye. Obi bi ohwe ya no. Eda was nyame adom ochina 1 to 2:30, 1 to 2:30 you beba na afei all the numbers no we the shabo and the bremo nyame adom a ochina be say sha Vincent Blit and also and coronavirus 36 nyame adom ochina good night.